person that had the extra queen would probably win, right? What if both people got a new queen? What if they still had their queens when they went to get a new queen? That would make an endgame that would just be just too crazy. And guess what's going to happen when Michael's done setting these pieces up? We're going to see a pawn race where it looks like Fischer's behind, but he's thought it out better than Petrosian, and then things are going to get really complicated. How are we doing, Michael?
I think that's it.
All right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8, 6, 9.
We're good?
3, 6, 7.
Okay, so this is the same game. When we left it, it was move 10. It's now 33. It's 23 moves later. Fischer still has his bishop that he likes so much. It's not doing anything, right?
Has it moved?
What?
Has it moved?
No, barely. Okay. So it's Petrosian's turn, and Petrosian's pawn, there's nobody in front of it. Meanwhile, Fischer's pawn's looking a little slow because his queen's blocking away. So they start a race. He plays A3. He plays H6. He's getting closer to a queen. He plays A2. He's only one square away. Look at Fischer. He's still a long ways away. But the nice thing for Fischer is that his queen is going to help his pawn. So here comes Petrosian. He gets a new queen. So now we have 3 queens on the board. 2 black queens and 1 white queen. Fischer plays H7. Strangely enough, this bishop that wasn't doing anything seems to keep Fischer's king safe. Petrosian's got 2 queens, but he can't hurt him. So he plays queen D6. That's to control this square. And Fischer plays H8, queen. Now we have 4 queens on the board. Usually when we have too many queens on the board, right away they start trading because both the players are scared, right? These are 2 of the very best players in the world, and they're going to try to keep the queens on the board because they're going to make it as complicated as they possibly can. And sometimes the queens will even be looking at each other and they won't trade. So you raise your hand if you see a situation where that happens, okay? Fischer plays G4. He's thinking it would be fun to have 5 queens. If you can just get this guy down here, then we can have a really crazy game, right? All right. So now Petrosian's thinking, well, my pawns are all blocked. I got to figure out some way to attack. So he decides he's going to attack with his king. He's going to try to send his king down here to go over to the next Fischer up. Things are getting a little complicated. Watch. Queen F8. He pins one of the queens to the king. So you think, well, now some of the queens have to get traded now. You would think, right? Here goes. Okay, Queen F8. Queen on A2. I think I left out a queen move. I did leave out a queen move. Okay, this is already here. I'm sorry, guys. Remember when I queened? Then I played another Fischer move right away. So this guy was already here. I'll try to keep a closer look on this. Because after Queen F8, Petrosian plays this queen to here. So we have 3 queens in a row with a king on the other end. You never see that happen. And guess what? Fischer says, no, I don't want to trade queens. So he puts his in 2 corners. I just love this game because, I mean, I've played thousands of chess games myself. I've looked at thousands of chess games. You just don't see stuff like this. He's got a queen in both corners, right? What's this king going to do? It's getting dangerous. He's trying to sneak around and check me. Well, I'll just attack with my king. Okay, but remember, it's a good move because now he's getting closer to his knight, and his knight's kind of protecting his king. So Fischer was going, well, I need to try to attack this king maybe from over this side. So he sends his queen to H2 to try to come over this way. Oh my goodness. Please, can we make this a little less complicated? So Queen H2, he's trying to check me, attack with a king. He'll keep him out. Let's see. We're going to try to surround him. Now he's getting ready to do this again, right? So remember, these queens used to be in those 2 corners, now look where they are. Right? And the threat is checkmate. So what should black do? Let's have a vote. Who sees the defense for black? What do you want to try?
Resign.
No. We have 2 queens on the board. We're not resigning with 2 queens. What should he try?
I think you should try C9 to A2.
C knight to A2. Now he can still put his queen here. This is the problem square. Ruben, what do you want to do? Queen A3, you play just like a little grandmaster. Your queen's supported by your queen, you bring your queen in your attack. So, what, you see an idea? This is a good move. Okay, so now sadly we're going to go down to just 2 queens. No more 4 queens, no more 5 queens. I know. He finally takes one, check. So now we just have 2 kings, but it's still an exciting game. Because Fischer says, after the game, Fischer commented here that he thinks he made a mistake. That he thinks actually black is a little bit better now, and he had to try to scare him with this pawn. He had to scare him like he was going to get queen number 5. So he played his queen here to make it look like he's going to try to do this. And guess what? The spider doesn't really care because he's going to try to go get his king. King G2. This guy's a long ways away, but he's walking over. He's going to try to get over that way. Queen D2. Up, cut us off. We can't get any closer with our king. Let's move our queen. Don't control a whole line. Still hard to see how we're going to get in. Watch this. King G3. Fischer says double question mark. This is a big mistake by Fischer. He didn't see what the spider was going to do to him. The spider finally got the kind of move he likes. Black's about to capture something. What do you think Black's going to capture? What do you see?
The pawn?
Which pawn is he going to take?
The E5 pawn?
Black's turn. The E4 pawn.
Yeah.
He is going to take the E4 pawn. What's he going to take it with?
Queen.
With the queen. That's what he did. After all these fancy queen moves, look at this. Queen takes pawn. Why in the world is he doing that? Explain to me why. Julian, why is he doing that? Khalil, why is he doing that?
Because if we take with the queen with the pawn, then we take it with the knight next to E2.
Then it's a royal fork. Check. And you get the queen, and Fischer would have lost 2 pawns. Oh no! So now things are really desperate for Fischer. He's going, what can I do about this? He plays Queen F2. His opponent played Queen H1 and offered Fischer a draw. And Fischer said after the game that this was a miracle. He was so lucky to draw this game. But the reason this guy offered a draw is because he could barely stay awake. The tension of playing with those 4 queens on the board, and looked like it was going to be 5 queens, it was just too hard. It was just too difficult for him. And so he said, well, I want to call it a day. The guy would say, okay, draw. So the game ended up, neither player won, but that's the famous Fischer 4 queen game.